All right, welcome back everyone to another review. Today we're going to be taking a look at the G.I. Joe Classified Cobra Alley Viper. I've been waiting for this guy for a while. Let me tell you something, it's worth the wait. I got this guy on Entertainment Earth, and let me tell you, there are a few cons to this guy, but when this guy came out in the original G.I. Joe way back in the 90s, early 90s, if I'm not mistaken, this dude was one of my favorites. And I don't have that original one anymore, but I have this one here, so it's great with my collection. So with that being said, guys, please like, subscribe, share, and leave a comment down below. And let's get on to taking a look at this guy's accessories. All right, so starting off, let's take a look at his knives. Now he has two little knives. They're almost like a bayonet style. They have the loop on the bottom. They actually plug in on him, one on his chest and one on his forearm, which I will show that here in a second. And they're just casted in a black plastic. And then you have his sidearm. Now his sidearm is just casted in black plastic. It looks like a 9mm hand pistol with a tactical light at the bottom, but everything's kind of just mushed together in all the black plastic in the way it was casted. But yeah, I mean, if you wanted to paint it, give it some more detail, you always could. I mean, it would be great if Hasbro actually put a little bit of, color into this, like they have done some of the other weapons in the past. That would be awesome. But hey, not on this guy, so that's fine. Here he has his assault rifle. And once again, as you can see, it's just all casted in black plastic. I do like the fact that the barrel is open, so you can put like a blast effect there, like it was shooting. Very nicely done. I like the scope at the top. And the other cool thing is that the magazine pops out, and then you can just pop it right back in. As far as this guy holding this gun, that's one of my, which I'll go over, that's one of my cons. Here's his backpack. Let me just take this off of here. I forgot to remove this. Come on. All right, that took some doing. His backpack has a Cobra symbol on it. Now that would have been cool if they would have painted this red or silver, whichever. And then you have this wheel here. This wheel, which I will talk about here in a second, on his backpack, yeah, that's going to play into the weapon I just took off the back. At least in my opinion, that's what I believe that is for. He has some pouches on the back, which would have been nice if they would have done some brushing for. He has 3 grenades on the back, no color. Like I said, it's all just casted in black plastic. And then he has another clip for his assault rifle or his submachine gun that he comes with. Then he has some pouches here. None of the buckles are painted in. And then on the other side, he has another small clip. And then it looks like he has another clip that's kind of in here, or that's just part of the actual backpack itself. Very nice. Just would have been nice if this had been painted in silver, red, whatever. And then here's the other side. Now here's the peg that plugs into his back. And then this looks like you would turn this to open it, probably to feed it more wire. And I'll go over that in a second and why I say that, because that brings us to his crossbow. Now his crossbow, yes, it's a rifle that shoots out more of a grappling hook than a crossbow. So yeah, if you had a wire that cinched from here to here, a clip, and I'll show the clips off in a second and what I mean by that. This thing does come apart, does come off. Okay, you have the open port in the front, and this would actually fire out. Just be careful putting it in there so it doesn't break. Once again, just cast it in black plastic with a nice scope on it. In the beginning, I just thought it was a 12 gauge. Just a fancy 12 gauge, which, hey, you can make it that if you wanted it to be. I mean, who says that that you're wrong? Who says it just has to fire off this harpoon-looking grappling hook thing? But that brings me back to this wheel here, which would make me think that there's some wire that you would clip to here. because this, on this peg here, stores, and it's the only gun that has a big enough right there on the trigger guard for that to fit on, and it fits perfect. So that's what leads me to believe that this bad boy right here would have wire that would connect to this, and then you would shoot it across, and then he would have a, you know, the other end which would clip here as well for you to, I guess, slide or, you know, go across buildings, or, you know, help you, you know, scale buildings. And that kind of winds up almost like Batman's grappling hook, right? All right. And moving on to his submachine gun. Now here's his submachine gun. Once again, it's all just casted in black plastic. It has a scope. It has a tactical light underneath the scope. It's front hand grip. And on the other side, you have an extra clip. Now, a clip to this gun here would normally plug in like right in here. I don't know why they didn't have that to where you would be able to plug that in. But this clip is removable. So that's why I say, I don't know why they wouldn't have that go, you know, in here or in here somewhere, right? I mean, this is not a clip that would actually work for the gun. That's actually just like a holster for the clip to hold an extra magazine. But very nice. And then at first I thought this tactical light was actually backwards. This, I believe it's a something like that, tactical light, but it's not backwards. That's the way it looks. You figure you would look through here and not here, but you're looking through here, and you got a wider part of the scope. Very nice. And it has an open port in the front too, so you can put blast effects, which they don't come with any, but if you have any from any other figures, you can go ahead and put them on there. All right, and last but not least, before we get into taking a look at the figure, we have the shield. Now, this is a great representation of the vintage shield that we had in the original figure. Nicely done, nicely done. And the blue, the orange fatigues, or the blue and orange fatigue, yeah, I said that correctly. Camouflage, fatigue, whatever you want to say. Looks really good. I love the Cobra emblem on there. Stands out, looks really, really nice. I love the rivets that are in the actual shield itself, the riot shield. And then you have his guards where that slides over his forearm, which I'll show you how that's done. And then this kind of looks like his mask, his Viper mask right there. And then you have some sort of tech display screen there. So when he is actually, you know, holding this in front of him, he can actually see what's in front of him and what's coming at him. And then if you really look, that kind of looks like a sword and shield emblem in the middle of the shield right here. And then you have some more rivets on the design of this. Very nice, very well done. And yeah, it's, you know, it's casted in orange with some blue paint on it, which they did a very nice job. Very nice job. Now, moving on to the figure, here we have ourselves our Cobra Alley Viper. Now, this guy here, the visor itself does not come on him. This actually comes off. See? So you have the two little pegs on the side of the helmet. And then you just want to kind of ever so gently just kind of just boom, pop this bad boy on here and pop it on over there. And then, you know, it moves up and down. Now you have the Cyclops looking eye that's on there, which probably goes good with his display on the back of his riot shield, or when he is in battle so he can actually see. Nice little black Cobra emblem on there. Very well painted for something so small. Something so small. Very, very, very nicely done. And then we get into his actual face with the blue in the eyes. And nice. Not a lot of paint slop. Love the way they did the detail in the mask. And his helmet too. You see the Viper teeth from the Cobra Viper. And then these are the top teeth from the Viper. So it actually looks like a Cobra, or a Viper, I should say, or a Cobra's, you know, fangs coming down, kind of like the Cobra insignia, right? So when it's open, it looks like the Cobra insignia. When it comes down, it looks like closed snake's mouth. Very nice, very nice. Then getting on to the blue pouches that are on the actual body harness itself, and then the front pouch with more of the blue and orange fatigues, his knife pouch, which is nicely painted in brown, and then he has a zipper that goes all the way down that you can actually see. They actually painted that. What a nice job. And it's not slopped all over either. Then you got some more pouches, some more orange and blue pouches. Now this is what I was talking about with the crossbow grappling hook gun that he has. These are the clips that you would use for scaling or climbing right here on the side of his body armor that he has. And then moving to the back, you see more of the body armor, his belt. Moving down on his arm, you see his Cobra insignia on his armband. And then moving down to his other knife pouch, which is just casted in black on his forearm here. Moving down to the lower half, as you can see on his belt, he has some more pouches that come around, and then down to his holster. So he has actually triple, so he has 3 straps, and he has some nice clips that go on here that holds this sidearm onto him. And then he has another pouch. I guess this would be for holding his magazines for his sidearm. Excuse me. And then you have some clips here. He has his knee pads, you know, just cast in orange and blue, and then his shin guards, and then down to his boots. Now I don't know if this is a reuse for boots or anything like that, but as you're looking at the back part of the boots, you can see the straps actually hold the shin guards on. Laces in the boots. I mean, very nicely done. Very nicely done. And then also on his hands, I mean, these hands are reuse. We've seen these 1,000 times, you know, with these. I don't think they ever change the use. And then the back of his helmet. So, yeah, not a whole lot of paint slop on this guy. He was very well done. Oh yeah, and he has pockets on the back, which I just now seen. All right, so let me just get into articulation, and I'll go over the figure real quick. So, of course, his visor can move up and down. All right, he can look up. Said that much. He can look down that far. He can look side to side. And he has a bit of a head tilt. His arms can go out that far. Now, I do see that he has a butterfly hinge in here, but the thing is mine must be stuck because it doesn't work. Oh, maybe a little bit. Yeah, there it goes. I see it. Yeah, it's just stiff. Just very stiff. All right, so then moving down to his arms, you have his double jointed elbows, which brings him up about that far, which isn't too bad. A few things get in the way, but not too horrible. I mean, that's actually not bad at all. I've seen worse. And then his wrist swivel, and then his wrist goes side to side. And on the other wrist, it goes up and down. Moving down to the torso, this guy has no ab crunch. And if he does, it's in there. But this body harness here just is not going to let it happen. He does have a waist swivel, which is nice, but I don't know if he has that upper torso swivel like, you know, some of the other characters have. It's just sad you lose that articulation because of the actual gear. They should have made it to where, you know, he could have some of that articulation in there somehow, some way. They should have figured that one out. Too many, like with the Viper, and then you have, who else? Firefly. You lose all that articulation in there. And I think even the Cobra Troopers, you're losing all that articulation in there. So, I mean, he's wearing some riot gear, but still you got to be able to move, man. You got to be able to move. All right, and then he has his standard drop down hips. And you can do the splits about that far. And then you move his hips up. He has an upper thigh swivel. And then he has his double jointed knees. And they go that far. So You know, of course, his holster is stopping, you know, from going any further. And then down here, he has his boot swivel, and then his toe hinge, which goes back that far, moves up this far, and then side to side. All right, so before we get into closing out on this review, I'm just going to show you how everything kind of plugs into this guy. So yeah, just take his knife, push it in there, right there. Take his other small knife, and you are going to just push it right in there, which is nice. His backpack, you're just going to plug this in right into his back. And then his sidearm. You know, back in the day, they used to give us real looking weapons. They're starting to do that again with these guys, which is cool. But just a little love in them, Hasbro. Just put a little love in them to give them a little bit better of a look. So there he is. I mean, I do believe the vintage had this sculpted onto his backpack as well. I don't remember. It's been so long since I had that figure. All right. So as far as him holding his weapons, yes, he can hold his firearms, no problem. And then if you wanted to, whoop, just knock something over. If you wanted to, in this hand, you know, you're gonna have to take out that clip. No, maybe not. Well, look at that. There you go. And he holds this, he can hold a submachine gun just like that, even with the clip on it. Very nice. Very, very nice. All right, now, let's get these out of here. And really quick, just to show you, you have to pull his hand out. Yep, pull his hand out. And then here, this side is bigger than this side on the shield. And you want to just kind of slide this on here. When you're sliding this on here, you got to work it back. And it is soft rubber, so let me take the backpack off. It is a soft rubber, so just kind of, you know, work it back, straighten out his arm, and then just kind of work it back to get it. Come on, come on, come on, come on. There we go. Just to get him past to where you can actually get this up and over. Takes a little bit of doing, but as long as you're careful with it, you'll be all right. Now there you go. So it's on there, and then just take his hand, and then it takes a little bit of doing. Everything's kind of stiff. There you go. And there he is with his shield, his riot shield. Once it's on there, you can let it move forward, and then it swivels. So you can have it straight up and down, or if he's going into battle where he needs it, you could have him holding it in front of him. If I can get him to, if I can get him to do it, just like that. And there you have him holding his riot shield. And yeah, I don't have any weapons in his hands, so I'm not going to pull his hand back off, but I do want to go over some pros and cons with this guy, and this is one of them. You know, Hasbro got a little sloppy when they were putting these things on. You know, this one's straight, this one's on here good, this one's off to the side, and then the fact that he doesn't have this upper articulation as far as the waist and torso movement. But hey, that's the way he is. That's the way they did him. I mean, so it is what it is. It's going to be kind of a bit of a loss trying to get this guy into some dynamic poses. Not saying that you can't do it, but if you're just going to pose him on the shelf and leave him, that's great. You can get him into a couple poses, nothing crazy. But yeah, there he is. If I can get him to stand up now. All right, so here we go. There we go. Now we have the Alley Viper with his shield on him, and you can always turn it, Give it a little turn. There you go. Give it a little bit of flavor. A little flavor. All right, guys. So let's get into some comparisons, and then let's close out this review. Here's how he compares to the Masters of the Universe Origins Stinker. Here's how he compares to the Masters of the Universe Origins Faker. And here's how he compares to Flames Toys Transformers Model Kit Bumblebee. All right, guys. So that concludes this review on the Cobra Alley Viper. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I had a great time making it. Listen, not everything's going to be perfect. So when I say I have some gripes with this figure, it doesn't mean that I don't like the figure. I think the figure is great. I'm happy that I have him. Don't get me wrong. I just think that, Hasbro could have just, made it a little bit better so he could get, I mean, these guys are, they're first off, they're army builders. And second of all, if they're Street Riot, SWAT, whatever you want to talk about, I should say, for Cobra, then by all means, you want them to have that articulation, right? You want to have them to have that movement, not so stiff. But hey, either way, I'll make him work, and he'll be fine, on my shelf. So if you guys get a chance to get them, and I hope you guys do, I know a lot of people are looking for these guys, and you can't get your hands on them, or they've been delayed. Be patient. Like I said, I got mine from Entertainment Earth, and they came in this week, and I'm happy that I got them early instead of way into July or whenever they were supposed to come. So with that being said, guys, thank you. Please like, subscribe, share, leave a comment down below, and I'll catch you on the flippity flip.